because your sort of spirit sort of carried us through this project. And in fact, one of the characters, Tony, was somebody that had already heard of you, but I made him sort of listen to you and sort of bring your spirit into his character. We thought it would be great to give your listeners a premiere of this experience. So you have to have a code to get in. And the code is InfoWars. So if you use that code, you'll be able to enter into the experience.
So it's InfoWars without the com. InfoWars.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you last night, and you were talking to Jaron, my producer. You were saying it might be live for 24 hours or a little longer. People need to get in there to get a first look now, because then it's going to shut down for a couple days before the official launch.
Yeah, exactly.
So the code is InfoWars, INFOWARS.
Yeah.
My listeners might be able to remember that.
We made it easy.
They may have heard of that term a time or two. Well, I mean, let's get into this, because it's also, you were telling me, kind of a mystery in this multimedia experience. People, learn more as they process through it. I mean, tell us about it.
Well, I mean, what it does, it looks at a sort of the near future. It starts in 2012, and it takes place over many years, and it follows a group of young people, and sort of it's a global story, and what happens as we sort of transition out of fossil fuels into alternative energy. And, what I realized going into that is that there's a lot of people who claim to know what's going on, and it's pretty overwhelming, because we don't really know what's going to happen, and I don't know who to believe or what to believe. So I really thought that we could sort of shake it up by putting in sort of conspiracy theories and things like that would sort of really question, the party line of what's going on with that. I mean, what we do know is that there's a finite amount of oil available, and eventually that will run out. And when that happens, regardless of whether we have some sort of scientific breakthrough and something that's going to provide amazing energy that we never thought of, there's still going to be an incredibly difficult and rough transition leaving from the sort of fossil fuels to this alternative energy. If you think about what we have and what sort of what we make from petroleum products, everything that we do is sort of based in oil. So even if we have this sort of amazing discovery, it's still going to cause chaos.
And the added point that you introduce, from what you've told me, is that are they artificially trying to accelerate the shutdown of the oil system? Are the big mega oil companies trying to suppress other alternative energies? We know they've been doing that for decades. So this production looks at it from a lot of different angles. It's not this way or that way. I mean, am I saying too much, or am I correct to say Collapsus is meant to spur debate and thought?
That's exactly what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's supposed to sort of intrigue you, and the entire experience. It's a fictional world, but also you go into it and you have the choice to go into documentaries, talking heads, professionals in the field, and sort of make that choice yourself if you want to hear more information. And it really is meant for you to come up with your own ideas.
So it's almost like a digital version. I mean, I know this limits it, but it's almost like a digital version of those storybooks that'll have 4 or 5 different possible paths you can take, and you make the decision.
I think it's really simple. I mean, when I'm on the web now, a lot of times I'm listening to your show. I'm surfing the web, checking stuff up like you so often tell us to do. I'm checking emails at the same time. I'm chatting with somebody. The way that we're sort of getting information now, it's very different than this whole passive idea of watching a show on television. And I think it's sort of about mixing and collapsing these mediums and interacting with information in an entirely new way.
And when we come back, get into how the website works. And people can go and discover this for themselves by going to collapsus.com and entering InfoWars. But it's a lot of different types of media fused together, including action, adventure, you name it. It's all there. And tell us about the production itself, because it looks like a lot of work went into this. I also see rotoscoping has a beautiful scanner darkly look to it as well. So quite a production. Tommy Pallotta, award-winning filmmaker, you name it, is our guest. And we're going to be discussing Collapsus.com, this multimedia experience with him on the other side, and talking about energy on this planet. If we didn't have energy, we'd all freeze in the dark, especially Tommy over in the Netherlands.
Is your computer running slowly? Thinking about buying a new one? Don't waste your money. Your computer could be infected with spyware, malware, viruses, registry errors, spam, and pop-ups. You don't need to buy a new computer. Just go to doublemyspeed.com and find out what's slowing your computer down.
Double My Speed totally cleaned up my system and increased my speed.
Doublemyspeed.com increased the speed of my computer from the very first day.
My computer was on its last leg. Now it's like new again.
Get your free diagnosis at doublemyspeed.com and keep your computer running fast. Your free diagnosis at doublemyspeed.com is easy and fast.
It's the best you could ask for. Outstanding, and my computer is running faster than ever.
Find out what is slowing down your computer with a free diagnosis at doublemyspeed.com. Don't waste your time with your slow computer. Get your free diagnosis now at doublemyspeed.com. That's doublemyspeed.com.
They helped to create a new world order. We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Collapsus.com. We're going to get it linked up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, or just search the term Collapsus.com and then enter Infowars.com. You're getting a first look. And Tommy says, let's go ahead and play the trailer. Here it is. It's world premiere of the trailer. You can find out a lot more inside the website, Collapsus.com, by entering, again, Infowars. But here is the world premiere of the trailer for Collapsus.
think bigger picture. Use your audience. Do some real reporting.
Everything's gone to a crisis point. It's now full-out civil war, fueled by blood, oil, and oppression.
For the coming years, we are now victims of our own stupidity and greed.
No, Amir.
That wasn't us. You are a liar.
I may be many things, but a liar I'm not.
Energy industry isn't there to help us, it's here to kill us.
We must fight back.
And you're helping to feed the fire.
Feed the fire. That's a good job.
Do not believe the lies. You'll know what I know. You'll see what I see. This is our war.
We need to get out of there, Vera.
Collapsus.com, and for radio listeners that couldn't see the trailer at prisonplanet.tv, is the trailer posted once people get into the Collapsus.com website, Tommy?
Yeah, it's also we're posting it on YouTube, so...
Good, so that's going up anytime. We'll get that. Yeah. We'll get that link. This is a short segment, but again, get into the process and the multimedia, this fusion that is Collapsus.
Well, it's about using multiple platforms to do the storytelling, and I also wanted to ask your listeners to follow us on Twitter at Collapsus News. And if you are going to be talking about or sharing your energy conspiracy theories, if you use the hashtag Collapsus, I think some surprises will be in store for you.
And again, you use the term conspiracy theory because in the popular culture, it's like when I call micro radio pirate radio, I get emails from pirate radio operators saying, why are you calling it pirate? It's micro. Yes, I think it's good. I think it's a way to get key information out. But the general public, if I say micro, doesn't know what I'm talking about. So I've got to say pirate to then explain to them that it's really micro and isn't interfering, if it's done properly, with commercial radio stations. Same way, you say conspiracy theory, that just means questioning the official dogma. But you have to use the term conspiracy theory just to even get people to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think conspiracy has a connotation of illegality to it as well. I mean, I think of conspiracy as somebody planning to do something that's illegal, and certainly price fixing or withholding information and other things. It wouldn't be in the past that energy companies have done something like that. So I don't think it's a very broad leap to call it conspiracy.
I've got a Bloomberg piece where they're calling the Stuxnet worm a conspiracy by a major government. I mean, conspiracies are everywhere. When two guys get together to rob a bank, that's a conspiracy. Why then does the media say mega corporations aren't involved in conspiracies when we know they are?
Yeah, you have to ask yourself that question. Everybody should be asking that question. But it's just a way to demonize and marginalize people who are asking questions.
What was the genesis of Collapsus? I mean, when did this idea form?
I was in New York in 2003 during the blackout. And it was, post 9/11. So it was very nice. Everybody was very good for 24 hours. There was no crime. It was sort of a big party. But I noticed very quickly that my entire lifestyle was going to change. And it changed in 24 hours. And the thought of what if we didn't have energy for, 3 days? What if we didn't have anything for a week? Civilization as we know it would completely collapse. And that was really kind of the genesis of this. When they sort of came to me describing the project, I just immediately thought back to that moment and that experience that I had.
I remember the last time you were in Austin, the last time I saw you when you were in Austin about a year ago, you were talking about, this project, and you were telling me, of course, the story about New York.
Yeah. I mean, to live through something like that, and again, it was really fun, but you don't really realize how dependent we are on energy until we're without it.
We are incredibly dependent. Let's talk about that and different theories, but the different research areas that you've gotten into about what's really behind what's happening with energy right now and the future of energy and my views on that as well. Tommy Pallotta is our guest. The website is collapsus.com. Only listeners can get in.
We're on